Well, with FC Andorra flying high in Europe, it's time to check in on the Andorran national team, who are flying low in Europe. Yes, hello there everybody, welcome back to the channel. Dodgy Gamer here with episode 74 of Andorra, the double challenge, in which I take charge of the club, FC Andorra, and the country of Andorra, and try to lead them both along the road to glory. So today's featured game is going to be Andorra taking on Slovenia in the qualification campaign for Euro 2028. How's it been going for us? Well, not so great. So we had that 2-0 defeat away to Austria in the opening game, which was featured on the channel. We then followed that up with a home tie against Bosnia-Herzegovina. 3-2 defeat. Very frustrating, this one. We actually took the lead. Look at how the goals went in. I'll bring this up full screen for you. Well, that doesn't actually make it any clearer, but never mind. Zarzana gave us the lead. Bosnia equalised 2 minutes later. 2 minutes later, Perez re-established our lead, and 1 minute later, Bosnia equalised. A mad 5 minutes there with 4 goals. And then Bosnia managed to get a winner near the end. If you look at the match stats, it was even. In fact, you could even argue that we edged it. We should have been able to make our home advantage count. That could have been a hard-earned point or even a famous victory on another day. Then we travelled to Ljubljana, or however you pronounce it, for an away game against today's opponents. It was a 2-0 defeat. Not much to say about it. You see, we held out until the 73rd minute, but then once Slovenia scored, it was only ever going to finish one way. We then had a friendly against Lithuania, and unfortunately in this one, I'm just surprised that we struggled. We're on a similar level in terms of world rankings. I thought it would be a good chance for a win. Zarzana gave us the lead. They equalised immediately, so we've obviously got to get that mentality after we've scored to kind of, settle down immediately, not get overexcited. But that was only a friendly. We then took on, in the new season, last month, September, we took on Austria at home. Again, it was a 2-0 defeat. And this is what I feared when this group draw was made. Like we said at the time, no big teams. We didn't get drawn against any of the major European nations, but we also didn't get any of the minnow nations. So there was the opportunity here to pull off a surprise, perhaps, and finish, maybe not qualify, but finish third or something like that. But there was also a strong possibility that we were going to suffer a series of narrow defeats and end up bottom. And that's kind of how it's been so far. So there was a 2-0 against Austria. And then finally, we got a point when we hosted Montenegro. Andorran icon Jose Francisco Perez gave us the lead. Montenegro, though, equalised with 20 minutes to go. But this time, look at the stats. And you have to say we should have won that game. We should have scored much more than the one we did. Unfortunately, we didn't, and we paid the price. But that one definitely should have been a win. And then just a few days ago, another game with Bosnia. We travelled to Sarajevo to take them on. First half, one-way traffic, all Bosnia. They scored on 18 minutes. They scored again just before half-time. Second half, they switched off completely, and it was all Andorra, to the extent that you see, in the end, we actually had more shots than them. We had more possession than them. But it wasn't until stoppage time that, again, Jose Francisco Perez, who's in much better form for his country than his club, got a goal. Then we had 2 more minutes of stoppage time, but it was just too little, too late. Which brings us to today's game. We only have 2 games left, including this one. The final match will be away to Montenegro, so this is our last home game in the qualifying campaign, and our last chance, possibly, to get a win on the board. I doubt we can. Slovenia, as you see, are favourites, and they're kind of still holding out hope of getting into second place. It looks like Austria are going to qualify, but that's something that slipped away from us now. Right, so this is how we line up. We've tweaked the formation a bit. We had been playing with 2 strikers up top, a target man and a poacher. I've got rid of the target man idea. I think there was just too many games where we were punting those long balls forward and the opposition defence were just beating us to them. So we've changed things around a bit. We brought Lega in here as a shadow striker. We've kind of, made an asymmetric lineup. with our midfielders to kind of try and fool the opposition a bit. Most of the players are the players that you will know from previous national team episodes. One new face, Magales, who you may remember I mentioned in the last, or one before last, FC Andorra episode, came through the FC Andorra youth setup last season and was immediately poached by Real Betis. I'm still sore about it, but they can't take him away from the national team, so he's already had 2 caps. He starts today because Engel Hernandez, unfortunately, did in his knee ligaments in the Bosnia game, so Pedro Magales comes in for his first start after a couple of sub-appearances. A real shame this one slipped through our fingers because he could be a real talent in a few years' time. Okay, and we're underway then, looking to avoid the embarrassment of last place. It would be nice to get a result here today, and then we can go into that final game against Montenegro trying to haul ourselves off bottom spot. If we don't finish bottom of the group, well, that would be an achievement. All right, finally, a highlight, and it's an absolutely fantastic goal for Andorra, completely, literally, out of nowhere. It was, I guess the goalkeeper was taking a free kick over by the corner flag, completely misdirected it, and Iswadi knew exactly what to do, just took one touch, belted it into the goal. The keeper almost got there, but that is an absolutely fantastic goal. That's going to be a question of sport, what happened next in the future. And that is the sum of your first half action. As you can see, we have by far been the better team. We've had the chances, we've had the possession, but as you've also seen from the match score lines that I've run through with you before, this often in this group hasn't been enough. Hopefully we can hold on. We see Montenegro are losing, so this would catapult us above them in the standings and set us up nicely for that final game. Okay, don't get complacent. That's the team talk we've gone with. We're just going to get straight back out there for the second half. We don't need to tweak or twiddle with anything just yet. And here we come now. It's Magales, the youngster kidnapped by Real Betis. Muyemba is bringing it through. Oh, nice little shimmy to get past his man. Knocks it out to Perez. The Andorran icon can't place his cross. And now Slovenia have a counter-attack. And good defensive play from Magales there to pick that up. Well read. And now Perez, the Andorran icon, brings it forward yet again. We've got space out on the right and we use it. Iswadi, the goal scorer, just keeps it in. Is he going to fire off a cross? Yes. And Perez clips the top of the bar. That was almost 2-0. And I hope we don't regret that missed chance come full time. Okay, here we go. It's a corner. Iswadi knocks it into nobody. But Georgie Gomez, Andorran wonder kid, picks the ball up. And he's very unfamiliar position for a centre-back to be in. But it doesn't matter. The ball comes back to Torres. Gomez gets the cross in anyway. And Zarzana with the header. But just not enough power on it to beat Oblak in the Slovenian goal. The highlight continues as Slovenia look to launch the counter. It's Kavric, and that's a shot for them, but they've had a lot of shots in this second half. As you can see, their shot counts shot up, for want of a better term, but nothing on target yet. Right, just taking a look at substitutions. This is going to be a difficult call, because Georgie Gomez is our best player. He's on a 60%, but he's our best player, so I don't want to take him off. Iswadi is tired, but he's the best player on the night, so I don't want to take him off. I don't want to take Alonso off because he's playing well. Mayumba and Lega are by far the best players in the squad for their respective roles. We never want to take off the Andorran icon, Jose Francisco Perez, and Zarzana up front would be the only other option. I think I'm going to go with, we've got a youngster here, Rui Cardoso, who came through in the same youth intake as Magales. He's an option. I mean, he's not got a lot of pace, but he's got a little burst of acceleration and a decent bit of finishing. Or for a more seasoned striker, Carlos Costa. He's rubbish at finishing, but his physical stats are good. Yeah, let's put on Carlos Costa. We'll get him in his preferred target man role. Maybe Lega can feed off him a little bit. And we're going to take off Jorvera and bring on Ivan Benitez. Georgie Gomez can stay right where he is, as he is, one of the best young players in Europe. Okay, here comes Slovenia with another chance. This is where I start to get worried, because this is where we've lost out in the other games and ended up dropping points. But if we could get another goal here, that would just be icing on the cake. That would seal the deal. But no, it's going to be a Slovenia counter-attack again. We committed far too many players forward. Oh, they've missed it. That was a shocking miss, it has to be said. I'm going to tell the players to tighten up here. I'm going to look at some tactical changes. I know I don't normally do this because I've been burned so many times in the past. But I'm thinking we go for play out of defence, which is what we would normally do. I did set the tempo and passing directness a bit higher for this game. And we'll keep playing for set pieces. Going to get the goalkeeper to slow the pace down when he's got the ball. And we'll just drop back a little bit here. Hopefully that's not going to cause us too many problems. And of course, we're going to time waste. Uh-oh, here comes Slovenia. And it's been disallowed. Whew. I was just going to say, I've literally just made changes. Changes probably haven't even kicked in yet. And we've immediately conceded. But luckily, the Slovenian boys were a bit too eager. And it's chalked off for offside. Now we've got to do our final substitution. What are we going to do here? It's just a time killer. We don't need to overthink it. But as Eswadi has run himself into the ground, we will put on one of the youngsters, Zagara. He's a FC Andorra B player, and we've done it. We've finally got a win in this group stage. A 1-0 win over Slovenia. So that knocks Slovenia out. Sorry about that, any Slovenian fans watching, but it puts us in a great position. We can't finish any higher than 4th, but we could not finish bottom, which, we'll take. We'll take it for now. It's almost mid-table in the group. Yeah, people have written us off today, but you proved them all wrong. Great result for the Andorran national team. So yes, the young Andorrans shine against Slovenia. It's Eswadi with that wonder goal, who's man of the match. It's a momentous win, so now we can add Slovenia to the scalps of Bulgaria and Scotland. And then that time we got a point away to Poland as well. We're on course for what? I'm not sure exactly. And updates from some of the FC Andorra players who were involved in that game. So then next month we've got a friendly with Malta, and then we've got the final qualifying match against Montenegro. I'm not sure. We might cover that on the channel. If you would be interested in seeing if we can secure the point there, which would keep us in 4th place, do let me know down in the comments section. I'm always happy to cater to what the viewers want to see. Beyond that, I think the next thing for us, we've had our Nations League campaign back at the tail end of last year. So the next thing we've got coming, competitive-wise, will be World Cup qualifying. Well, there we go. World Cup qualifying. The draw is not for 14 months, and it doesn't start until 2029, so quite a wait. Alright, so international break over. I'm going to return to Andorra with the FC at the front. We're going to play through a few games, and I'll be bringing you back for another glorious European night as we take on Bate Borisov in the next episode. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Please do hit that like button if you've enjoyed today's video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'm Dodgy Gamer. I'll see you again soon.